Every morning when that alarm goes off, you're faced with a choice. Not a small one, a defining one. You either hit snooze and drift back into the comfort that's been holding you back, or you rise up and face the grind that's building your future. That moment right there, before the sun rises, before the world wakes up, that's where champions are made. Because most people talk about success like it's magic, like it's luck, like it's something you stumble into. But you don't stumble into greatness. You grind into it. You earn it. You earn it. You build it brick by brick, sweat by sweat, day after day, when nobody's watching and nobody's cheering. You see, people want the dream, but they don't want the discipline. They want the reward, but they don't want the repetition. Everybody says they want to win, but not everyone's willing to wake up early, to sacrifice comfort, to keep going when everything in them screams to quit. That's what a rise and grind means. It's not a catchy phrase. It's a mindset. It's a declaration that says, I'm going to show up no matter what. No matter what. Because life doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you work for. And every single time you choose to rise instead of rest, to grind instead of complain, to focus instead of scroll, you're taking control of your destiny. There's a version of you that the world hasn't met yet. A version that's sharper, stronger, more disciplined, more powerful than the one you see in the mirror right now. But that version won't appear by accident. It's created in the grind. It's built in the mornings when you feel like staying in bed, in the nights when everyone else is out having fun and you're putting in work. That's the price of greatness. That's the cost of success. It's sacrifice not for strength later. It's pain not for pride later. It's choosing to rise and grind while others settle and wait. The truth is, success isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about showing up when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you failed 100 times and still saying, let's go again. Because one more rep, one more call, one more hour can be the difference between almost and achieve. You have to stop waiting for motivation and start operating from commitment. Motivation fades. Commitment endures. So when you hear rise and grind, don't just hear a phrase. Hear a challenge. And a challenge to prove that you've got what it takes. To silence every doubt, every distraction, every excuse that tries to stop you. Because this is your time. This is your moment. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is how bad you're willing to grind for it. Get up. Lock in. Rise and grind. Because the future doesn't wait for the lazy. It rewards the relentless. Every single morning before the sun even breaks the horizon, life gives you a choice to rise or to remain the same. To wake up and attack the day with hunger, or to roll over and let another opportunity die before it even begins. The world owes you nothing. Nobody's going to hand you greatness. Nobody is going to wake you up, pat you on the back, and if you want it, you've got to get up and take it. You've got to earn it every single morning. Every sunrise is a fresh battlefield. And if you don't rise to fight, you've already lost. You see, people talk about wanting success, wanting the dream life, wanting freedom, but most of them never realize that the dream isn't waiting for them. It's running from them. It's running from them. And chase it with everything you've got, it'll leave you behind. The grind doesn't start when you feel like it. The grind starts the second your eyes open. It starts in that moment when your bed feels too comfortable, when your mind whispers 5 more minutes, when your body tells you it's too tired. That's the moment that's too tired. That's the moment that separates the talkers from the doers. Because anyone can rise when they're motivated, when life is exciting, when they're full of energy. But the real grinders rise when they're exhausted, when life has punched them in the mouth, when nobody is watching, when nobody cares. They rise because they made a decision that they're not going to let comfort steal their purpose. Every single day is a test, and most people fail it before they even begin. They fail because they think they have time. They think success will wait for them. But success doesn't wait. Success rewards the ones who show up, who rise early, who prepare while everyone else is still dreaming. The world belongs to the people who refuse to sleep on their potential. You have to earn your spot every single day. Yesterday's effort doesn't buy you today's reward. Yesterday's grind doesn't secure today's success. That's why every morning you have to start again. Hungry, focused, relentless. When you wake up and your feet hit the ground, you need to understand something. No one's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you a crown. You've got to rise and claim it. You've got to outwork every excuse, every distraction, every lazy habit that tries to pull you back into the ordinary. Because this world doesn't give to the deserving, it gives to the determined. You can have talent, you can have dreams, you can have potential, but if you don't have the grind to back it up, it means nothing. Potential without discipline is wasted. Talent without effort is useless. You can't buy hunger. You can't fake work ethic. You either rise every day ready to take what's yours, or you get buried by the ones who do. There's a reason why some people are always ahead. It's not luck. It's not chance. It's because while the world was sleeping, they were building, they were studying, planning, executing. They were training their minds and bodies to handle pressure, to handle failure, to handle everything that life throws at them. They understood one thing. The grind is not a season, it's a lifestyle. It's not something you do when it's convenient. It's something you live every day. Because when you treat the grind like an option, you'll quit when it hurts. But when you treat it like oxygen, you'll fight for it no matter what. You've got to wake up every day with the mindset that nobody's going to outwork you. Nobody's going to beat you because you refuse to stop. You might not be the most talented, but you can be the most consistent. You might not be the fastest, but you can be the most disciplined. You might not be the strongest, but you can be the most relentless. That's how you win. Oh, you win by waking up with purpose, by attacking the day before the day attacks you. You win by controlling your energy, your time, your focus, not letting the world decide how your day will go. The moment you open your eyes, you need to remind yourself why you started. You need to remember that every dream you've ever had depends on what you do today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, because each sunrise is a countdown, one less day to become who you were meant to be. And if you waste it, you don't get it back. You can't rewind time. You can't redo a morning that you slept through. Every second you spend complaining or hesitating is a second you'll never see again. That's why the ones who win are the ones who win are the ones who understand the value of now. Rising early isn't just about waking up. It's about waking up your spirit. It's about igniting that fire inside that says, I refuse to live average. When you rise early, you send a message to the universe, to your competitors and to yourself that you're serious, that you're disciplined, that you're hungry. Every morning you conquer is a statement that you are in control, because how you start your day determines how you end it. If you start weak, you'll end weak. But if you start with power, if you start with focus, if you start with gratitude and hunger, you'll end the day knowing you gave everything you had. The grind doesn't care who you are. It only respects effort. You can't talk your way to success. You have to work your way there. And the truth is, nobody will believe in you until you give them a reason to. People don't respect words. They respect results. You have to earn their respect by what you do when nobody's watching. When you rise before the world, you're proving that your goals mean more to you than your comfort. You're proving that your purpose is stronger than your excuses. You're proving that you are willing to do what most people won't, so you can live how most people can. Stop waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation is temporary. What you need is discipline. The kind of discipline that gets you out of bed when you're tired, that pushes you to work when it's dark, that makes you move when your body says stop. Because that's where transformation happens. Not when it's easy, but when it's hard. That's where character is built. That's where champions are made. You can't rise and grind for one day and expect results. You have to do it every day until it becomes part of who you are. The truth is, every morning is a mirror. It shows you what you truly believe. If you believe you can win, you'll rise like a warrior, ready for battle. But if you doubt yourself, you'll hit snooze and settle for mediocrity. The way you start your morning reveals your mindset. So when that alarm goes off, it's not just a sound, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's asking how bad do you want it. Every day you get to answer that question. And the answer isn't in your words. It's in your actions. You owe it to yourself to rise before the world tells you what to do, to create your own rhythm, your own momentum, your own grind. Because once the world wakes up, it will try to pull you in 100 different directions. But when you rise first, when you take command of your morning, you take command of your life. Every morning, you're either getting closer to your dreams or further away. There is no in between. The world doesn't owe you anything, but you owe yourself everything. So rise up, take it, earn it. Grind like your future depends on it because it does. The second keynote, let the hustle define you, not the hype, is about building a life where your actions scream louder than your words, where your work becomes your identity, and where consistency speaks volumes long after the noise fades. Too many people today want the results, the spotlight, the applause, but they don't want the grind. They love the idea of success more than the sacrifice it demands. They want to be known for the results, but not remembered for the work. This keynote flips that mentality on its head. It's about becoming the person who doesn't chase attention because the effort alone is their signature. You don't need to tell people who you are. The way you move, the way you work, the way you show up every single day already tells the story. That's what it means to let the hustle define you. When you wake up in the morning, you have two options. Get up and chase something real or stay in bed and chase comfort. Every single morning is a battle between your grind and your excuses, your hunger and your habits, your vision and your laziness. People who rise and grind aren't born that way. They're made through the repetition of showing up when it's hard, when it's boring, when nobody's watching. They don't rely on hype, motivation, or energy from others. They move because the mission inside of them is louder than any distraction outside of them. And that's what separates the people who talk about success from the people who live it. Because hype fades, motivation dies, applause stops, but hustle never sleeps. You've got to reach a point where you stop needing validation. Stop needing someone to tell you you're great because the grind itself becomes your proof. Every rep in the gym, every late night at the desk, every early morning with no one to motivate you. That's the real measure of who you are. The grind is where you find yourself, where you test your limits, where you sharpen your spirit. That's where real confidence comes from. Not from likes or followers or fake praise, but from the work you put in when no one believed in you but you. That's how legends are made. Not through talk, but through repetition. Through the quiet hours when you could have quit, but you didn't. Through the moments when the world didn't clap, but you kept moving anyway. The truth is, people who depend on hype eventually burn out. They build their fire on external fuel, praise, attention, recognition, and when that fuel runs out, they stop moving. But those who are fueled by hustle, they never stop because their fire comes from within. They've trained their minds to move even when the world is silent. They've conditioned their souls to push forward even when no one's there to cheer them on. They've built discipline into their DNA. The grind doesn't depend on feeling, it depends on decision. It's not about waking up motivated, it's about waking up committed. Because motivation will lie to you. Motivation will say, you can rest today. Motivation will say, you deserve a break. But commitment says, we keep going until the mission is done. When you live by hustle, you learn to fall in love with the process, not the prize. You understand that the reward is not the trophy or the title. It's the growth you earn along the way. It's who you become while chasing the vision. People who chase hype want shortcuts. They want fast results. They want to skip the pain. But the hustler, the real grinder, knows there are no shortcuts to greatness. You've got to bleed for it. You've got to sacrifice for it. You've got to go through seasons of doubt and loneliness for it. You've got to wake up day after day and keep planting seeds when there's no sign of harvest. That's what defines you, not your image, not your followers, not your name, but your consistency, your resilience, your work ethic. There's something powerful that happens when your hustle becomes your identity. You start seeing obstacles as opportunities. You stop waiting for perfect moments because you realize perfect moments don't exist. You create them through motion. You stop fearing failure because you understand every setback is a setup for your comeback. Johanna, you stop comparing yourself to others because you know your grind is unique. It's your story, your journey, your race. And in that mindset, you become unstoppable. The hustle turns into hunger. The hunger turns into growth, and the growth turns into greatness. Think about this. When people look at your life, what story are you telling them? Are you showing them a person who only works hard when it's easy, or someone who's consistent even when it's brutal? Because your habits are your message. Your work is your voice. Your grind is your identity. Let people see your actions and understand your values without you having to say a word. Let your efforts speak louder than any caption you could ever post. When people see you, let them say, oh, that one right there doesn't play games. That one lives what they preach. That one moves with purpose. You've got to realize that the hustle isn't about ego, it's about evolution. Every day you show up, you're not competing with anyone else. You're competing with your yesterday. You're grinding to become a stronger, smarter, sharper version of yourself. And that's the power of living by hustle, not hype. Hype fades as soon as the spotlight moves. But hustle builds character that lasts forever. So stop waiting for energy. Stop waiting for someone to notice. Stop waiting for motivation. Move, work, grind, build something that can't be denied. Because one day when the noise dies down and the trends change, the only thing left standing will be the people who outworked everybody else. The ones who were too focused on building to be distracted by attention. The ones who made the grind their lifestyle, not their phase. The ones who didn't just rise once, they kept rising every single day. That's how you build a legacy that lasts. That's how you win the marathon while everyone else is sprinting for claps. The hype may shine for a moment, but the hustle shines forever. The third keynote to turn every setback into fuel for the comeback is the essence of what separates the average from the extraordinary. It's about transforming pain into power, turning losses into lessons, and using every failure not as a reason to quit, but as a reason to rise even harder. Because life will test you, it will knock you down. It will strip you of comfort, of certainty, of support, and see what you're made of when the applause stops and the struggle begins. And in that darkness, you will have two choices. You can stay broken, or you can use that fire inside to rebuild stronger than ever. The people who make it, the ones who truly rise and grind, they don't just survive the setbacks, they use them as gasoline for the next chapter. They understand that pain isn't the enemy. It's the teacher that sharpens your soul. Every time life hits you, you have a chance to decide what kind of person you're going to be. Will you be the one who complains and points finger, or the one who gets back up and says, watch me rise again? Because let's be real, setbacks are part of the process. They're not signs to stop, they're signs that you're on the right track. Nobody becomes great without falling. Nobody builds strength without resistance. The muscle only grows when it's torn. The heart only becomes tougher after it's been tested. Every challenge you face is life's way of asking, how bad do you want it? And your answer isn't in what you say, it's in how you respond when everything seems to fall apart. Most people give up because they expect the journey to be smooth. They think success is a straight road, but it's not. It's a battlefield. And every setback is a weapon you can either fear or use. The people who win understand that setbacks are not the opposite of progress. They are the path to progress. Every closed door teaches you patience. Every betrayal builds your discernment. Every failure trains your persistence. Every delay refines your purpose. When you stop seeing pain as punishment and start seeing it as preparation, everything changes. Because then even your struggles start to serve you. You begin to realize that life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. The truth is, setbacks expose who you are. When everything's going great, it's easy to act motivated, focused, and disciplined. But when the storm hits, when the plan fails, when the people you trusted walk away, that's when the real you comes out. That's when your character is tested. And that's when you have to make the choice to rise again, even when it hurts. You can't let the setback define you. You've got to let it refine you. You've got to take that pain, that disappointment, that anger, and channel it into your growth. Because if you let it, pain can either break you or build you. The difference is how you respond to it. When you start using setbacks as fuel, you stop running from challenges. You start chasing them. You begin to understand that every tough moment is an opportunity to level up. You start craving the grind because you know that comfort never made anyone great. You realize that the people who look unstoppable weren't born that way. They've just been through so much that they've learned how to rise from anything. They've fallen so many times that failure no longer scares them. They've been rejected so often that they've stopped seeking validation. They've been through enough storms to realize that pain doesn't destroy you. It strengthens your foundation. When the world tells you you're done, that's when you dig deeper. That's when you remind yourself why you started. That's when you take that pain and turn it into performance. Every time you're doubted, every time you're overlooked, every time you fail, that's your moment to get better. Not bitter, better. Because revenge isn't shouting, it's succeeding. It's turning all that frustration into fuel. It's using your struggle as motivation to prove to yourself that you were never built to quit. Every time you fall, you rise smarter, stronger, sharper. Every time life says a no, you build the kind of strength that says I'll find another way. That's how real warriors move. They never let pain go to waste. See, there's a fire that's born in people who've been through hell and refuse to stay there. You can't teach that. You can't fake that. That kind of strength only comes from surviving storms that were meant to destroy you. It's in the moments when you're alone, tired, broken, bleeding, but you still show up, you still work, you still fight. That's the grind most people don't see, and that's what creates the unshakable mindset that separates you from everyone else. Because once you've learned to turn pain into power, no one can control you. Not fear, not people's opinions. You've built a mindset that runs on self-belief, not validation. Life is always going to throw punches. It's never going to stop testing you. But every setback is a setup. Every fall is a chance to rise higher. The people who lose are the ones who stop fighting. The people who win are the ones who learn how to keep swinging, even when they're bleeding. You have to be willing to hurt for what you want. You have to be willing to fall in love with the fight. Because once you realize that the struggle is what makes the story powerful, you stop fearing it. You start embracing it. You start walking through pain with purpose because you know that the comeback is always stronger than the setback. And here's the truth. Every great success story is written in the language of failure. Every champion you admire was once broken, once defeated, once told they couldn't do it. But they didn't stop. They didn't let failure have the final word. They turned their pain into power, their rejection into redirection, their losses into lessons. They didn't let the world define them. They defined themselves through their grind. That's what makes greatness timeless. So when life hits you, don't hide, don't retreat, don't question your worth. Stand tall and say, this is not the end of me. It's the beginning of a stronger version of me. You may not see it now, but every setback you're facing is preparing you for something bigger. Every tear, every sleepless night, every failure is molding you into someone unbreakable. And when the time comes, when you rise again, you'll realize that nothing was wasted. Every ounce of pain had a purpose. Every struggle built your strength. Every fall taught you how to fly. So don't let your story end in defeat. Don't let failure stop you. Let it sharpen you. Let it sharpen you. Let it push you. Let it remind you that you're built for more. Because when you learn to turn every setback into fuel for your comeback, you become unstoppable. Nothing can break you. Nothing can slow you down. Because you've already turned pain into power, and now you rise from it. At the end of the day, it's not about who's the most talented, who's the most gifted, or who had the perfect start. It's about who refuses to stop. It's about who wakes up every single morning with that fire in their chest and says, I don't care how tired I am. I don't care how many times I've fallen. I'm not done yet. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you the life you dream about. You have to fight for it. You have to earn it. You have to rise and grind for it every single day until it becomes real. The world doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your consistency, your hunger, your discipline, your actions when no one's watching. That's what separates those who wish from those who win. You can't just say you want it. You have to prove it with your effort, with your focus, with your grind. Every single day that you wake up and decide to push through, even when you don't feel like it, you're building something powerful inside of you. You're proving to yourself that you're unstoppable. And that's what greatness is. It's not a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment. It's waking up tired, stressed, doubtful, and still showing up. Because you understand that success doesn't care about your feeling. It cares about your focus. It cares about your grind. It cares about your ability to keep going. Everything in you is screaming to stop. There's someone out there right now who's working while you're sleeping. Someone who's hungry while you're comfortable. Someone who's preparing while you're distracted. And the difference between where you are and where you want to be is not luck. It's discipline. It's your decision to rise when everyone else is resting. It's your choice to keep going when others quit. You don't need a miracle. You just need consistency. You just need that relentless mindset that says, I will not let this day pass without progress. Because if you can win today, you can win tomorrow. And if you keep winning enough days, you'll wake up one day and realize you won the life you always dreamed of. So don't waste another second waiting for perfect conditions. There's no perfect time, no perfect opportunity, no perfect plan. There's only this moment right now staring you in the face. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to scroll, complain, and talk about what you could do? Or are you going to grind, push, and fight for what you must do? Every great story starts with a decision, and this is yours. Right here, right now. To rise, to grind, to become everything you said you would be. So when this video ends, don't just feel inspired. Act inspired. Turn that energy into execution. Turn that motivation into movement. You've got everything it takes, but now it's on you to prove it. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Win the moment. Win the day. Because if you can win today, you can win your life. And when you look back years from now, you'll thank yourself for never giving up, for never settling, and for choosing to grind when the world was sleeping. That's how legends are made. That's how you build a legacy. Rise and grind, because your future is waiting.